Hey guys, I'm Golimon, and I thought about going over the new patch notes that are currently only on the test build, but they should be live really soon. And I scrolled through them a little bit, but I haven't read them all, and the only thing I know is that there's a lot of them. The video shouldn't take too long, but still, this patch should shake up the meta really hard. So let's start off with the reworks, I guess. Rework, remove the tiger. Oh my god, why? A moment of silence for our friend the tiger, man. So many fun builds have been accomplished by the tiger. It's sad to see him gone. I actually don't know why they did this. The only reason I can think about is maybe because of the leopard build, but because with the level 3 leopard with enough attack and the tiger behind it, you could kill the entire enemy unit before even attacking. So maybe, but I think if that was the only issue, they would have just changed the leopard probably. So I don't know. I maybe they just thought the tiger doesn't add much creativity in the game. I don't know. They didn't give us a reason. They just said they removed it. So yeah, that's the first change. Okay. Added board to pack 1 and 2 that is tier 6 and 10 attack and 2 HP with ability. Before attack gain +2/+2. Interesting. A tier 6, but his HP is really low though. I'm not sure if the board will see much play, honestly. Doesn't sound like a good unit. Doesn't scale too well. It definitely only attacks once with 2 HP, maybe twice, but yeah, not sure about this new edition, honestly. When I first saw this, I was thinking maybe they added a new unit to replace the tiger, like make the animal in front of him use his ability twice but only once, like you can't use it behind a snake. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that's the pro, I guess. Doesn't look too good in my opinion, but we'll see. Changed Poodle to tier 5 and Microbe to tier 4. Okay, the Poodle is definitely a really strong unit in the expansion pack. Most of the time when you unlock it, you definitely buy it. And the Microbe, yeah, I guess it wasn't the best unit for tier 5, so yeah. I guess it makes sense to get to tier 4, it's not that strong. Without the turtle, the Microbe doesn't really do much for you. Okay, let's get to the buffs now. Change rat to 1 attack and 1 HP. So before this, the rat used to be a 4/5 stats unit, I think. Yeah, it was 4 attack and 5 HP. So now it's a 1/1, but its ability changed. Dirty Rat, when summoned, deals 3 damage to friend ahead. That's honestly a really interesting change, because you can actually get some backline snipes with the rat now. Well, definitely the rat is still not good into mid game, but early game it could do some real damage. Like 3 damage might be enough to kill a unit. It definitely can snipe a horse in a backlines or something like that. So it's interesting. I don't think the 1/1 stats are good enough though. From 4/5 to a 1/1, maybe should have been a 2 attack and 2 HP, but we'll see. Okay, changed spider ability to summon pet with the same level. That's honestly a really big buff to the spider. The thing is, most of the time the spider doesn't do anything, but if you have a level 2 spider and it summons a level 2 sheep, man, you're getting some value right there. Or a level 2 turtle getting 2 melons. Man, that would be crazy. Okay, that's honestly a pretty good reason to pick up the spider. And actually, I'm not sure if it works with any other units, because I think the summoned pet stats are fixed. Like it's even if the turtle is a 2/3 with its default stats, the spider spawns it with 2/2 stats, right? Yeah, I think that's how it works. So I think this is only a buff for the sheep and turtle, but I might be wrong. Okay. Change squirrel ability to also discount shop. Okay, this was a really requested feature by the community, so I'm really happy they made it happen, because the squirrel is definitely an interesting unit, and the ability is really unique and can also be very useful. But like it is now on the live patch, on a live build, it's definitely really bad, because most of the time you buy the squirrel, let's say you buy it with 10 gold, you have 7 gold remaining, that's only 2 food items you can buy. So yeah, it's not that great for scaling. Now it should be interesting. We'll see how the discount looks like. It's probably gonna be, instead of 3 gold, the food's probably gonna cost 2 gold, so still it's pretty good. You can buy 3 food items, maybe 4 food items. Yeah, should be interesting. Change rabbit ability to also trigger on itself, so not the biggest buff, but it's still okay. The only time you would want this to happen is when you buy a salad bowl or a sushi and it happens to buff the rabbit. So yeah, it's a small buff, but definitely not making the rabbit any much better. Change go to 4 attack and 6 HP, and ability to give 1, 2, 3 gold and have 3 charges on all levels. So this is 1 gold on to give. It gives 1 gold on level 1, 2 gold on level 2, and 3 gold on level 3. Well, this is definitely an interesting buff, and it can work, but in my little experience with the goat that I've played with it, most of the time you don't want to spend gold on upgrading the goat. So unless you get really lucky and get like 2 of them in the same shop and you say, okay, let's give it a try, and then maybe make it work, I don't think in any other case you would wanna use your gold on the goat, because most of the time you pair it with a buffalo to get some good stats, and then you need to spend your money on units, not on multiple goats. So yeah, it sounds like a nice buff, but I don't think it's gonna matter too much. Change sauropod ability to give 1, 2, 3 gold and have 3 charges on all levels. So basically the same buff. The sauropod gives you gold when you buy food. This is definitely a waste of a buff, because the sauropod is tier 6. You're never gonna get a level 2 sauropod. You're never gonna use your money on multiple sauropods, yeah. Oh well. A buff is a buff, I guess. It's not gonna matter too much, but oh well. Change chicken ability to give +1, +2 instead of +1, +1. Well, chicken is a damn fun unit to play with, and this buff makes me really happy, to be honest, because now I have even more reason to use it. I don't think this makes the chicken much more powerful, but it should be a really nice buff. Most of the time when you go for a chicken build, you get a lot of buff instances, and this double HP buff is probably gonna add up really nicely, so might actually be a really big buff than it sounds. Change Tabby Cat to 2 attack and 3 HP and ability to give +2 attack until a vendor's turn. Okay, so it basically gives the stats are lower and it gives +1 attack. Yeah, I don't think it's good. Still not good. Change lobster ability to give +3/+3. Okay, honestly this is really vague, because the lobster right now gives +2/+2 when not in battle on level 1, then it gives +4/+4 and +6/+6 on level 3. So honestly, I'm not sure if they made the buff on level 1 +3/+3 and they just kept the other ones the same. Yeah, honestly, this is really vague. I'm not sure what they changed about it. But yeah, okay, let's just go over the next one. Change Croc to 8 attack and 4 HP and ability to deal 8 damage. So that's a +1 damage on a snipe, and it has more attack. Honestly, it doesn't look like a bad unit to pick up now. I usually picked up the Croc anyway, so now it's a pretty nice offensive unit, to be honest. 8 damage when if you get the croc early, and by early I don't mean from a level up, that would be early as well, but even if you get it when you just unlock it, 8 damage should still be enough to kill one unit in the back. And with 8 damage now, it definitely can kill a unit with its attack. So the croc can potentially kill 2 units with no other requirements, like no buffs and no scaling. So honestly, sounds like a pretty good unit to me now. Okay, looks like the horse is getting some love. Change horse to 2 attack, 1 HP. Yeah, it's a decent buff for the horse. Definitely couldn't have buffed it in any other way. Its ability is good. Can't really give it 2 HP because that doesn't make it much stronger. Yeah, this makes sense. 2 attacks should, in the early game, should be enough to maybe kill a unit to save your round. Change shrimp to 2 attack and 3 HP. Yeah, I think it's a 2-1 now, so okay, you don't suffer too much from buying the shrimp, so sounds like a decent buff. Change giraffe to 2 attack and 5 HP, that's decent. It's an HP buff, not bad. Change swan to 3 attack and 3 HP. I'm not sure about if this is a typo or something, because the swan right now is 3 attack and 4 HP on the life patch, so I'm not sure if this is a maybe they included this in the buff list by mistake, or it's just a typo. Honestly, I don't think the swan needs a buff, to be honest. I think it's a pretty good early game unit, but yeah, we'll see. Change skunk to 3 attack and 6 HP. Okay, that's a decent buff, and the skunk honestly is already a pretty good pet because of its ability, so the stats upgrade is very welcomed. Change worm to 2. This is definitely not gonna make the worm build viable, but maybe with the +1/+1 buff and with the squirrel discounts, maybe the worm builds can be viable. Also depends on the discount, as I said, on a squirrel. If the food is 1 gold, then it's definitely viable, but if the food is 2 gold, it might be. It needs some math behind it. We'll see. Definitely worth a shot. The worm with the squirrel in the new patch. Okay, change llama to 3 attack, 6 HP. Okay, change llama to 3 attack, 6 HP, so basically a +1/+1. I don't think that's enough to push llama to be viable, because having only 4 units. Change rhino to 5/8. Okay, that's an interesting buff. It's +2 HP on the rhino. It's not the biggest buff because it doesn't synergize too well with its ability, because it doesn't get much more killing potential. The attack is still 5, but the HP maybe might make him survive the first hit and kill 2 units. Definitely interesting. I don't think the rhino is in a really bad spot, but this buff is definitely needed. Yeah. Change seal to 3 attack and 8 HP, so basically it's a +2 HP buff. Honestly, in the last couple of days I've been really utilizing the seal, and I've discovered that it can actually work. It's a pretty viable scaling option if you get it early. Actually, it's really amazing. I don't think this is gonna make too many people buy it, but yeah, honestly, +2 HP it's decent. It's decent. Maybe it will see some more play. Maybe it will make some more people try the seal out and maybe discover its potential. Who knows? We'll see. Change parrot to 6 attack and 4 HP. That's a pretty big buff. It doubled its stats. Yeah, parrot is pretty niche. You don't usually see people using it. Honestly, there was not too much reason using it, especially with the tiger. But now that the tiger is gone, you can basically try to emulate the tiger because you can have 2 units do the same thing, so it's kind of like a tiger doubling the abilities, but not really. I don't know. Maybe the doubling of the stats is gonna make it viable, but honestly I'm not sure because I don't have too much experience with the parrot. Change gorilla to 6 attack, 9 HP. Okay, honestly this sounds to me like a really solid buff, because the gorilla definitely benefits from the extra HP, as if it survives a hit then it attacks one more time and doesn't take any damage from the coconut because of the coconut. So honestly I like this buff, I really like it. I like the gorilla anyways as it is now on the life patch 6.6, but it definitely needs scaling or buffs to be good, but maybe this 9 HP will just push it over the top to be, I don't know, I think it's a C tier, maybe C plus, maybe now it can be a B tier, B plus, I don't know. It definitely needs some experimenting. Change Leopard to 10 attack, 4 HP, so basically making the Leopard the glass cannon, but that's a pretty big buff because it buffs its ability as well. Change Mammoth to 310, the Mammoth is 2.6, okay, that's a pretty big HP buff. I'm not sure if it's gonna make, I don't think it's gonna make the Mammoth too much useful, but it's a pretty decent buff. Okay, it's time to look at the nerfs now. And the most awaited nerf of all, change deck ability to give +1 health to shop pets. So basically the duck build is kind of, I wouldn't say it's over, but people are definitely not gonna be spamming it. Honestly, I'm guilty of this myself. I've been spamming the duck builds every time I play the standard pack, which, trust me, it's a lot on stream. Yeah, no, but honestly, I'm really happy about it because the duck early game was too freaking strong. Like no other early game strategy could beat it, not even close. So yeah, it's a good nerf. It's a good nerf. It's still decently strong because the HP is really good in early game. And still combine that with the dodo, you still get decent attack, but yeah, it's definitely not as powerful as it is now. Changed fish ability to give +1 HP to all friends. Yep, this is a really well deserved nerf. The fish was a must buy in the early game. It had S tier stats in the early game, 2 attack and 3 HP, and with that buff it was amazing. Now I think it's good. It's just good. It's not overpowered anymore. Okay, changed Rooster to 5 attack and 3 HP. It was a 3/3 before, and ability to inherit only 50% attack. So basically, goodbye Dodo Rooster, because we actually have the Dodo buff here below. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Yeah, this attack buff is supposed to make up for this, but in the long run and in late game it doesn't hold up. Yeah, the era of the Rooster is definitely over. I mean, I don't think it's terrible because its ability is still really good, but it definitely doesn't scale as it does now with the Dodo builds. Yeah, now you just gotta feed it food, I guess. Change crab ability to trigger on buy. Well, honestly, I'm not sure about this nerf. The crabs are definitely a good unit, and it kind of deserved a nerf, but so basically you can't use the crabs with dogs anymore because as you scale up your dog, the crab is not gonna get more HP, but still the crab I think the crab is still really good, especially if you buy it in late game. Yeah, still should be a viable option. Change flight ability to trigger 3 times per battle. Honestly, this is I think the fly builds needed a nerf, but I'm not sure if this is it, to be honest. I really don't know, because the whole scheme, the whole gimmick behind the fly, the summon build with the turkey was the crazy amount of flies you can get, and buff them a lot with a lot of stats from the turkey. But now, honestly, this really limits the potential of the build. I'm not sure if the fly is gonna be viable now. Change fly token to 4/4 instead of 2/2. Okay, yeah, this is supposed to make up for the loss of overall stats because you don't summon as many flies. But yeah, I mean, it can still work, but I don't know what to say. Okay, change T-Rex ability to give +1/+1 and also target itself. Okay, this is honestly a pretty healthy change, because most of the time when you use the T-Rex, he was the only one who didn't have good stats because he didn't buff himself. And honestly, his ability was a bit too strong. +2/+2 on everyone was definitely incredible scaling, and your units were amazing really fast. So yeah, a well-deserved buff. Nerf, I mean. Change Dodo to 2 attack and 3 HP, and the ability to give 33%, 66% and 100% attack. Okay, so basically this is a really big nerf to the Dodo, because right now on live it's 100%, 200% and 300%. So this is a really big nerf. It's 3 times less powerful technically. So I think this should pretty much take the Dodo out of the meta, to be honest. I don't think it's viable anymore. I think it's fine. It even has one more attack though. Yeah. Goodbye Dodo. Yeah, this is it. Change Turkey to 3/7 and ability to give +2/+2. Ooh, okay. Interesting nerf. So they buffed his HP, but his ability is a little bit weaker. Yeah, honestly, the turkey's ability was pretty strong, and the +3/+3 water stats was pretty good, especially if you manage to get a turkey on turn 7. So yeah, I think this is a healthy change. Change puppy ability to cost 3 gold. Honestly, this doesn't sound like much, but in the long run, this is gonna cost you a lot of gold. The puppy was amazing because it's self-sufficient and it buffs itself, of course with the cost of 2 gold per round, but now that it's 3 gold, it might be a little bit too much and might just knock him down out of viability, to be honest. I don't know, it definitely needs some math behind it as well, definitely needs some calculus behind it. Changed milk to give +1/+2, yeah, this is definitely well deserved. The milk was too strong. Basically every time you saw a cow, you would just buy it. It was that easy. Change dog to 1/1. Okay, so instead of a 2/2, it's a 1/1. Yeah, this is a pretty bad nerf for the dog early game. Now it kind of sucks, but honestly, if you decide to go for a dog build, this -1/-1 nerf doesn't count, doesn't matter too much. But early game, it definitely sucks. I think it's a pretty decent nerf. The dog, like, I like the fact that they didn't change his ability, so he can still be strong if you build your comp around the dog. But early game, he's not as strong as he is now. Yeah. Change Caterpillar to 1/3. Yep. Okay, change Caterpillar to 1/3. Okay, I love this nerf. I actually love it because I'm sick of seeing that many Caterpillars in the expansion pack, man. And this nerf makes so much more sense now, because it's only logical. You're supposed to get a really weak unit that hurts your team overall in power, but after you grow it for a couple of rounds, like, I don't know, 6 rounds, or I'm not sure the exact number, 6 or 7 rounds, then you get a really powerful unit. So yeah, this definitely is a really nice nerf, and it makes sense. Change Kangaroo to 1/2. The Kangaroo isn't that great, but honestly he can grow quite big sometimes if you actually get a really good early frontline unit. Honestly, I don't think this buff is gonna hurt him too much, but Honestly, actually, I don't know, because most of the times the unit in front of the kangaroo only attacks once, maybe twice. Yeah, most of the times you're not gonna get many buffs on the kangaroo, and this nerf on the stats actually kinda hurts him. I don't know. Yeah, I think he should still be okay-ish though. Change monkey to 1-2, that's a pretty big stat nerf, to be honest. But still, you don't buy the monkey for the stats, you just buy it for the buff. Change poodle to 2-2. That's a pretty big nerf, and he's tier 5 now. Honestly, I don't think he's that viable anymore. Yeah, he's tier 5 and 2-2 now. Honestly, it might be too late for him on turn 5. The scaling might be too late. I don't know though, it definitely needs some experimentation. Yep. Okay, so that's it for the patch notes for this balance update. I hope I gave some pretty helpful insight into each of the buffs and nerfs, if not for all of them, at least for some of them, at least. And of course, those were just my personal opinions on the state of the new stats on the animals. So, yep, if you guys enjoyed this, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.